Right now, Marshall and I are staying in Cinque Terre, which is a national park along the coastline of Italy made up of 5 small villages. We're staying in Manarola, which is maybe the most beautiful place either of us have ever been, but it's also the most difficult of the 5 towns to get around because it's set on the side of a very steep hill. Because of that, not everybody's going to want to or be able to come explore this town by themselves, so today we're going to take you around so you can see it all. In Manarola, there's one road that winds through the town, and we're standing almost at the top of that road right now. As you can see, there's a church behind me, and this is the San Lorenzo Church. One unique thing about this church is its bell tower is actually separate from the rest of the building, and the bell goes off about every half hour, so we've been hearing it a lot, and you can definitely hear it throughout the whole town. Across from the church, there's a lookout where you can see the coastline and one of the hikes going to another town in Cinque Terre. This is a beautiful lookout and a great place to relax if you need to catch your breath after going up this very large hill. Along the hill where the trail is, there's a bunch of greenery, there's lemon trees and grapevines, and it's just a beautiful scene right next to the ocean. If you keep walking up the road a little bit past the church, you'll come to a staircase that takes you to the start of the trail leading to Rio Maggiore, Cinque Terre's southernmost town. The trail is pretty intense, but it will get you to some great views of the town.
Right next to the church, there's this great breakfast and lunch place where we stopped today. We got a great focaccia with mozzarella and prosciutto on it and some coffee. It was a great start to the day, plus we got to have a view of the church while we were sitting.
One of the great things about being at the top of the hill is there's not as many people because a lot of people don't want to walk all the way up the hill to see the church. So the farther down the road you get, the more people you're probably going to see. Heading down the road is where you'll find most of the restaurants and shops in the town. There's a few grocery stores and tons of souvenir shops along the way. As you're walking down the hill, make sure you keep looking up, not only to see the colorful buildings, but also we found a few spots where we just were walking under grapevines and didn't realize it. One of my favorite things about this town so far is that you can just walk up through so many of the alleyways and see all of the beautifully colored buildings along the way. Usually I feel like that would be kind of a hidden gem kind of thing to see, but since the town is so small and the hike to the next town over starts in one of the alleyways, there's actually a lot of people walking through there.
When you come down to the coastline, you're met with a really interesting view. Instead of sand, there's a bunch of rocks jutting out of the water that people are jumping off into the water from. The water is really rough today, so not many people are jumping, but yesterday it was really lively and people were jumping in all the time. There's a path to the right of the water that takes you along the coastline of Manarola, and it allows you to get some pretty amazing views of the ocean and the village. Also, if you go far enough around the curve, you can see the other village to the north of Manarola. At the top of the walkway, you'll find the restaurant with probably the best view in Manarola, as well as a playground and a place where they hold pesto making classes.
Luckily, there are a few ways to see Manarola without actually getting out and hiking through it. There are boat rides that can take you along the coast of Cinque Terre to see all of the towns, and there's also some kayak tours if you want a more active way to see it. If you're in the area and you do just want to come take a look at Manarola, the train station is actually situated near the bottom of the hill, so you can come take a look at the beautiful buildings and maybe even the coastline without having to walk up the steepest part of the hill. Well, that's it for our tour of Manarola. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope you feel like you got a little taste of Italy.